friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Neva and this is hello friends. I'm Neva and this is my cozy corner of the internet. Welcome if you are returning and welcome home if you are new here. So today we're going to be doing our weekly WIP Chat. I am filming this a little bit early, so some of the stuff that I would usually talk about in a WIP Chat I won't be able to really talk about here today because I am filming this on a Thursday instead of on my typical Friday or Saturday, so it can go up on Sunday. But I will explain why this is being filmed a little bit early this week. But first we're going to go over what I'm going to be working on. So if you're new here, hello, and a WIP Chat. WIP stands for WIP, stands for work in progress, and chat stands for chat. I'm just going to be chatting with you for the next hour or so. And yeah, so the WIP that I'm going to be working on is my Glorious Purpose painting, which is a Loki painting from Diamond Art Club. I've been working on this for a couple of months, like actually working on it for a couple of months. I started it about a year ago and did one little square that was like this big and then gave up because I was scared of squares back then. But today we're going to be working on that so that I can get it done because this is actually a gift for my friend Brianna. And yeah, let's go over the materials that I will be using. So I will be using the same pen that I usually use, which is my custom Harley Quinn pen. This is from Diamond Pen Pal. I will have the shops linked down below. I think they're always linked down below, like underneath like what I use for diamond painting. Then I have my cutie coverminder here. This is the one from Pure Bliss Wax Co. And we have this in the shop if you want to buy that. You can buy that with the signature putty, which is golden vanilla. I don't remember. Yeah. Okay. So golden vanilla, and it does say Reading with Neva signature putty on it. So Reading with Neva, if you're new here, is the channel name that my channel used to be under. I changed it a couple of weeks ago now to more reflect all of the cozy hobbies that I do as well. But that is the correct putty with the cute little marshmallow coverminder, and that's what I have in my multi-placer. In my single placer, I have the last s'mores snap dot in there. This was the last one that I had. So I do have a bunch of the chocolate caramel peanut clusters, so I'll be using that after this one runs not sticky anymore. And then the tray that we're going to be using is a brand new tray. I just got this. I did an unboxing of it in a vlog, but I think you're going to actually see this video before that vlog, I do believe. So this is the Drills and Chills 2025 tray from Bijou Bliss over on Bijou Bliss Design over on Etsy. I'll have them linked down below. You cannot get this tray any longer. I literally ordered it on Halloween, which was like the last day that she had it in the shop. But there are a bunch of really cute other trays. You can get custom colored trays, and then there's a bunch of really cute Christmas trays that are currently in the shop. So let me zoom you in. I've already got a color out, which is this like I don't know if you can even see it on camera, but it's this blue here, which is the like arrow symbol. And I'm actually going to grab one though because I have one random blue one that I guess didn't get covered. Okay, so let's begin, shall we? I'm going to set our timer so I don't forget because I very routinely forget to set a timer. Here we go. Okay, so hello friends, how are you? I hope you're well, and if you are not, yes, okay. And if you are not, I hope that it gets better. My week has been a little hectic, so we'll do a life update first. Ari was sick for most of the week, and then the kids don't have school tomorrow because it is the end of the trimester for them. So she went to school on Monday, and she had a birthday party after school for her friend that lives just like up the street. And I let her go to that, and then she came home and she was not feeling well. Like I could tell by looking at her she didn't feel well, but she was saying like her stomach hurt And she had a pretty bad cough. Sorry, I hit my elbow on the table. And she had a pretty bad cough. So I was like, okay, well, we'll see how you feel in the morning. So, and I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a little bit froggy as well. I have just like a cold. It's fine. But so I was like, we'll see how you feel in the morning. So I woke her up on Tuesday for school, and she said that she still wasn't feeling well. She'd been coughing for most of the night. She was up every like hour coughing. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just call you out. That's fine. She hasn't actually missed any school so far this year. So I was like, I'm not surprised that this would be the time of year when she starts missing school. She's a pretty healthy child, but she does have seasonal allergies, and where we live, which is Iowa, for some reason, the weather can't quite decide what it's doing. So it will be really cold one day, and then it will be like hoodie weather the next day, and it just cannot figure out what it's doing. Like all this week, it's been warm by like 10 a.m., and like warm enough for you to not have to wear a jacket. Like you need like a long sleeve, like a hoodie or something, but like there's no reason for you to wear like an actual jacket. So I'm like, okay, that's part of the problem. So then Tuesday night, my friend, who is the mom of the little girl that Ari went to their birthday party, she lives up the street, she texted me and asked if her daughter could walk with Ari and I to the bus stop yesterday. So she texted me Tuesday night asking if on Wednesday morning her daughter could walk with us to the bus stop. And I said, yeah, that's no problem. I was like, but Ari was sick today, so if Ari is still sick, then I'll come get your child. I'm not going to put her child's name on the internet, but your child from your house, and I'll just walk her up there, and then I can go get her after school. That because my friend had hurt her ankle, and she usually my friend's mom, so the little girl's grandma, takes her to and from the bus stop, but grandma was out of town. So she was like, okay, thank you so much, blah, blah. So I was like, yeah, no problem. So I get up yesterday morning. I asked Ari, are you going to school? Because she had been coughing again throughout the night. So I was like, I feel like she's not ready to go to school. And we had done a breathing treatment Tuesday night, like a nebulizer, and I had hoped that would help some, but it didn't really seem to help as much as I was hoping. So Ari was like, no, I don't feel good, I don't want to go. So I was like, okay, well, I have to go get this little girl, because I told her mom that I would get her. Of course I used her name because Ari knows who she is. And I was like, I have to go get her and take her to the bus, but I'll be right back. So I also had physical therapy yesterday, and we're going to talk about that. So I went and got this little girl. I took her to the bus, and her mom was like, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no big deal. She's like, I didn't realize Ari was sick, or I wouldn't have asked you to do it. And I was like, it's really not a big deal. Like, I'd already told her the night before that I would do it, so I was like, that's fine. So take this little girl to the bus, drop her off, come back up to the house, and jump through a shower. And then I was like, okay, well, I have to go to physical therapy, right? So I usually would take a shower before physical therapy because they tape my arm. So we're going to talk about that. But they tape my arm, like my shoulder, at physical therapy because I hurt my shoulder a few months ago, and I don't know how. Like, I woke up and was in a lot of pain, and I have like chronic pain and some autoimmune issues as it is. But this was like a different kind of pain. Like, this wasn't like my normal like chronic pain. And so I went to the ER. They referred me to physical therapy, and then my doctor signed the referral. So I've been doing physical therapy for like a month and a half, I think. So I knew that I had that, and I knew that they were at least going to take my arm. It was like an evaluation, so it was basically an appointment to determine if I would, like, next steps. So, like, if I was going to continue physical therapy or not. So my doctor originally had said that she thought that they would make me do 6 months of physical therapy as long as there was progression in the healing of my shoulder. So I was like, okay. So I was prepared for 6 months of physical therapy. That's not what happened. So I go in for my appointment. I jump through a shower. I tell Ari, I have to leave to go to physical therapy, but you are not feeling well, so you have to stay here. So I told my dad that Ari was here. I told him the night before. And like, my brother is also home, but he is usually sleeping during the day. So my dad had been like, okay. So I gave Ari my iPad because it's got games on it, and told her, like, you can make yourself some food or whatever. I was like, I will be back in an hour and a half. So I walk to and from physical therapy. Okay. So I knew that it was going to take me 30 minutes. It takes me 30 minutes to walk from my house to the hospital where physical therapy is, and then it takes me another 30 minutes to walk back. So usually I meet my partner at his job, and then he walks back with me. So I knew, because he had called me yesterday morning, that my cousin was meeting him at his job so that he could help, so that my partner could help my cousin with something with his truck. So there was something that needed to be fixed in his truck, and so my cousin had been like, I'll just do that, blah, blah, blah. And I knew that because my partner had called me and was like, we'll probably stop over there on lunch. And I was like, why are you going to do that? I have physical therapy. So the plan was, I go to physical therapy, and then I would go, which usually takes 45 minutes to an hour, and then I would go meet my cousin and my partner down at my partner's job. So I get into physical therapy, and usually there is a wait. They were a little bit behind yesterday for some reason. Why is this? Okay. I hate that the ABs are slightly bigger. Okay, anyhow. I laid all my ABs before this started because no one wants to watch me lay ABs. Let's just be honest. Because I've been having to do them with a tweezer. I don't have a good, like, putty or wax alternative that will not rip the coating off. So I've been laying them with a tweezer, and it's just, no one wants to watch it. Okay, I hardly want to do it, much less make people watch me do it. So okay, so I go to physical therapy, and I'm sitting out there. I always take my Kindle with me to any kind of appointment, because appointments for me, I go to enough appointments because of my chronic pain that I always know there's going to be like a little bit of a wait time. Like, I always know that. So even if they're running like really on time, usually I have a little bit of a wait. Either it's a wait in the waiting room, or it is a wait, sorry for my sleeve there, but let me move this over. I needed my trash thing, minder, trash can, this thing, a little trash, pot. So anyway, I knew there'd be a wait. So I'm sitting there and I was reading, because I am doing the 75 booked challenge, which we're going to do a little update on that, but 75 book challenge, right? So I was like, well, I'll read some more of Love Arranged, which, for anyone who doesn't know what that book is, it is this book. I might have to zoom you out. Yeah, I'm going to have to zoom you out for a second so you can see it. So this is the book that I'm currently reading, which is Love Arranged by Lauren Asher. It's the third book in the Lakefront Billionaires series, and it will finish out a series for me. I've already finished out one series, and which was the Jackson Murray series this month, and so I'm really like on a roll of finishing series. So I'm sitting out there and I'm reading on my Kindle, and my physical therapist comes out, and she is like, hey, I'm so sorry, I'm running a little bit behind. And I was like, no big deal. So she was like, okay, so today's an eval. She's like, so we're just going to see like where your arm is. So the last time that my arm was measured, I had 45% weakness in my arm. Okay. So that meant that my score was like a 60, I think it was like 62. This was like on their, I don't know what kind of scale it is, okay? I'm not a physical therapist, but on the scale that they use, it was at a 62, which was like 45% weakness. When I went in this time for this eval, my score was 40, 9, which she said was still about a 40% weakness. But she was like, but I think that this might be your baseline, because it didn't seem that my arm was getting stronger, but it clearly wasn't getting weaker. So basically what she was saying was she didn't think that my arm was going to get any stronger from where it was sitting right then when we did the evaluation. But she also wasn't seeing it getting weaker because she felt that I would have far more difficulty doing things. So she was asking me things like, what can you lift? So like I had said, like the other day, I carried my laundry basket downstairs. So the way that our house is, it's a split level house. So we have 2 bedrooms downstairs, 1 and 2 bedrooms upstairs, and then the kitchen, bathroom. Well, we have a bathroom upstairs, bathroom downstairs. Then we have kitchen, yeah, basically it could be a duplex, because we technically have like 2 living rooms and 2 kitchens, but one of the kitchens, which is upstairs, isn't functional as a kitchen. It's basically been gutted out. And then downstairs we have like the functional kitchen and the laundry room. So I had carried our basket from the bathroom upstairs to the laundry room downstairs, and I had said to her, like, yeah, I can carry that, like I can carry like a jug of milk. I was like, the other problem is that I'm not left-handed, so a lot of the things that I would do like in daily life, I do with my right hand. Like I don't do it with my right arm. I don't do it with the left side of my body. So she was like, okay. So she's like giving me some advice, like to, when I read on my Kindle, to like lay down like reclined, which I do read that way, but then to lay on my back and hold the Kindle up with my left arm to try to get some of that strength in. The other thing is that when my arm is taped up, which you can actually see in some of my Halloween pictures that I posted over on Instagram, you can see that my arm is taped up. It's just what we're going to have to do at this point. But I was like, it feels better when my arm is taped. She's like, okay, I'm going to have you continue to do your at-home exercises. And we're going to have to just teach someone at your house how to tape your shoulder. So I was like, okay. So I texted my partner and I was like, I'm being discharged from PT today, but that means that someone's going to have to tape my shoulder every week. Like, that's just how it's going to be. Now, I do give my shoulder a couple of days in between taping. So if they tape me on Wednesday, then I take the tape off by Sunday, and then I sit with no tape on Monday and Tuesday. So I take the tape off Sunday evening, like when I take my shower, and then I let it sit with no tape for Monday and Tuesday, and then I have it retaped on Wednesday. So I'm doing like the exercises and stuff on Monday and Tuesday without the tape on, which doesn't feel great. I'm going to be honest. Like, it doesn't feel good, but it's also a thing of like, I'm like, okay, but I don't know how else to get the strength in my arm. So she had said to me, like, because of my chronic pain and my autoimmune stuff, that probably I will have a flare-up. Which, yeah, probably. Like, she said, if I am having flare-up, to come in and just make an appointment, just to call and make an appointment saying that I'm having a flare-up, and to have them get me in as soon as possible, because my insurance does cover my physical therapy. And so I was like, okay. So they discharged me. They gave me this like cool t-shirt, because in my physical therapist office you get like a t-shirt when you like graduate or whatever. But she was basically like, there isn't really a lot else that like we can really do for your arm. She was like, and all of the exercises that they had me do, except for one, I can do at home. There's only one that she ever had that like okay, so I have 2 physical therapists. I have the one that did like my intake, and she did all my evals, right? And then I have, which we'll call her Emma. And then I have another physical therapist who we'll call Stephanie, and those are not even close to their names. So, who I would see every week, and like every week that I didn't see Emma, I would see Stephanie, and she was the one that would like have me go through all the exercises and stuff like that, because Emma works in another part of the hospital with inpatient physical therapy, or like, physical and occupational therapy patients as well. And the part of the hospital that I go to is the outpatient. So Emma had me, or not Emma, Emma had me do a bunch of exercises, but she only ever had me do exercises at physical therapy that were able to be done at home on my own, right? So I have a bunch of like equipment here, bands and things like that, that I have that I keep in like on the back of my door, in like a storage thing. And then Stephanie would have me, there was one exercise that Stephanie had me do that I was like, I can't do this at home. Like, I literally said to her, like, it's so frustrating trying to do it because I can't, the way that you have to keep your shoulders, I can't physically do it without help. And so she had said, like, okay, yeah, that's one we'll only do like in the office. So that's the only one that I'm not still doing. So I have like a pulley one that I have to do, and then I have some resistance bands that I have to use for a couple of them as well. So I have basically been discharged, graduated from physical therapy, which is fine. I'm really at this point just trying to avoid having surgery, because a surgery will put me down like for months. Like, when I looked into the surgery that they were talking about, that they were like, if you had to have surgery, like, this is what it would entail. It's a 6 to 12 month recovery before you're like fully back to normal. It's like 3 to 6 months before you can like function as a human. And like, as a person who has a small child, that's not really a feasible thing for me, because like the other adult that would be here with my child, like that could help me with my child, is working. And then they work during the day, right? So my partner, and then like Ari's dad lives in a different state. So it's hard because like, I'm like, well, I could just get the surgery and then call it good. But like, I also don't want the surgery. And I've also never had surgery ever in my life. Like, I haven't even ever had a C-section. So, like, I've never had surgery. So I'm kind of sitting here like, I don't want the surgery. So I'm going to keep trying to work with my shoulder and see. Today it actually is in a lot of pain, which is very interesting because it is taped up. And I did do my exercises yesterday when I got home, because we didn't do them at therapy. Like, we didn't do them at therapy. So I did do them when I got home, because I was like, well, I'll do them now. But now my shoulder is in like a lot of pain today, and it wasn't like this yesterday, but that's okay. So that is kind of my life update at this point, is to, I don't have physical therapy anymore, but I do still need to do like the at-home exercises, which is fine. Trying to think, what can we talk about next? Oh, and then Ari's been sick. Great. Other than that, on Saturday, so when I'm filming this, it is Thursday, so in 2 days, I will be going to the Alexander K concert in Clive, Iowa, which is a few hours away from me, and I'm really excited for it. I've been honestly waiting for it like all month. Like, I've been anticipating it all month. Well, actually, maybe like since last month. So like, for like, ever since her new album dropped, it's been on repeat. I don't know what other songs she will play at this show other than what's on the new album. I've heard from people and like seen footage of her playing like Ever Leave and a couple of her other like singles, but honestly, whatever she plays, I'm so excited. Honestly, I'm so super excited for that. And then I also am getting the Jingle Drill stuff this week for that. So that will come after the concert. Like, it will be here a few days after Jingle Drills officially starts, which is okay. I do put in like for the prize or whatever, like I do like enter for the prize, but you have to have a new start and a finish, right? But then you do you don't have to have a new start for like the weekly prizes. So this year I might just do the weekly prizes, but I should be able to get at least one of the kits done like before the end of the month. So for anyone who maybe doesn't know what Jingle Drills is, like if this is the first WIP Chat from me that you have seen, Jingle Drills is hosted by Lindsay over at Emeralds and Fairy Lights. I will link her down below, and she also does she also co-hosts Drills and Chills with Katie from Diamonds and Washi. And but this one, Jingle Drills, is like a Christmas holiday because I think they allow for like other winter holidays, so like Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, things like that. But it's like a Christmas wintry holiday kind of event, diamond painting event. And yeah, so the rules are basically, I believe it runs from November 15th. So it runs from November 15th until December 25th. And really the rules are that you have to, like, if you want to go in for a grand prize, you have to have a new start and a finish. And if you want to go in for I think the weekly prizes, you don't actually have to have a new start. You could like work on a project that maybe you worked on last year or whatever. Yeah, it's just with the grand prizes, you need a new start. And Lindsay encourages to go join the Facebook group because that's where she gives the code word. So she gives a code word that you have to put on your blank canvas. So your canvas has to be like covered in plastic. So like in this plastic cover, or if you're doing like a what is it called? A double-sided adhesive kit where it has like the opaque cover. It has to be obvious that there's no drills laid down on it. But I don't think a lot of people do the double-sided adhesive kits any longer. I'm pretty sure pretty much every company is poured glue, at least all of the like companies that everyone buys from, like that are really well known. And I know that it has to be licensed artwork to participate. So like that's or Aloha or Diamond Art Club, like anywhere like that, would be licensed artwork. And then yeah, she gives you a code word that you put like in the middle of your drill-free canvas, and then that's how you submit to be part of the, I think there's like a Google form or something that you fill out. I don't remember because I participated in 2023, but I did not participate last year, and I actually did not get my piece done in 2023 because I overestimated how long it would take to do a large square piece. So I got like the only kit that I really liked that was released in 2023, which was the checking the list. It was like a black Santa standing in front of a Christmas tree in like a living room, and I loved the piece. I still do. I need to find the canvas because it's somewhere in my house. I have all the drills for it still, and I want to finish it, but it's a huge piece. Like, it's really big, and at that time, like, I wasn't good at squares, and so it took me a really long time to even start it. Like, it was a whole thing. But this year, I'm ordering 2 pieces. I think I'm ordering 2 pieces, and they are actually both rounds. I had said originally that I was going to be ordering a square, but then they did the Christmas drop on my birthday, and I was like, well, let me go look at the Christmas drop and see what I like in the Christmas drop, because the stuff that I was going to order was older, but I think will still be available for me to do like at a later date, and so I'm probably just going to order the square kit that I was going to order later, because I'm actually surprised that the kit that I want has not sold out yet, and I'm hoping that it does not sell out between now and, well, tomorrow when I'm gonna, or this weekend when I'm gonna order. because it is like a candy shop, but it has a lot of colors. It's a pretty large canvas, which is fine, but it is round, so I'm hoping that that means that it will work up quickly. But it's by an artist that I wanted to try and I never have tried. And it's mostly because every time that they release a kit by this artist that I actually really like, which I like most of her kits, but it will sell out before I get my hands on it. And there are a few that I have saved and on my wish list that I think will eventually be restocked. And a couple of them are actually in stock right now. They're just not Christmas themed. But I just really like this artist's style and everything. So I will do like an unboxing of it. And then I do have a couple of off canvas projects. Like I have like a diamond, like a couple of 3D diamond paintings, and then I have some ornaments that I think that Ari and I will do throughout the season. She probably won't do the 3D one. I just feel like it's going to be too difficult, but I will let her do the diamond painting ornaments, because those have like actual, you know, spots where you put the diamonds. The 3D diamond paintings are more freestyle than anything I've ever done before. So yeah, I'm going to kind of go over that stuff in a video here very soon. Once I get the diamond paintings for Jingle Drills, I'll go over the stuff that we're going to go through probably like in like a holiday diamond painting projects kind of video. I just don't have everything to show, and I want to show everything all at once. And that doesn't mean that everything that I'm going to show is going to actually get done this holiday season, because I'm not naive enough to think that that is necessarily going to happen. So let's talk a little bit about 75 Booked, because I know people are following that. I have the video for that will have already gone up by the time that you see this WIP Chat. It will have gone up on Friday, and this WIP Chat goes up on Sunday. So hopefully you enjoyed watching. I am changing a little bit about how I am going to be structuring my 75 Booked challenge. And this is simply to make life easier for me, and after watching some short form content of other people doing 75 Booked. So it seems that a lot of the people that have or are participating in 75 Booked, they do like shorts. I'm not doing shorts. I'm doing long form content because I'm not good at shorts, I'm gonna be honest. I may in the future, because I think I will do this challenge again. I really liked this challenge. So I think I will do this challenge again, and I think in the future I might do a 75 Booked, like do this in short form, because I do think that that would be fun. It's just, it seems like the way that people do it in short form is they film a bunch of B-roll, and then they go ahead and like put voiceover over the B-roll. So like essentially they say like, hi, welcome to day 6 of 75 Booked. And then it's them talking the whole time with B-roll over the voiceover. So I just need to figure out how to edit things so that I can do it that way. I hope that that makes sense. So I'm going to kind of figure that out and go from there. Okay, good. It's going to sound simple. And kind of go from there. But for now, it's long form content. So what I had been doing for the first weekish of 75 Booked, the first 9 days, was I was basically coming in every day or every other day and updating you on where we were. And I was saying like, oh yeah, I read exactly my hour and a half. Now, I don't think that this is realistic. So I think what I'm going to be doing, and I've started incorporating this actually into week 2's vlog, is I'm only going to come in and update when I have finished a book. Now, obviously, if I don't finish a book in a week, then I will just come in at some point and update and say like, hey, I read this much on these days. Let's go over the last few days, whatever. I'm not going to come in every single day and update. I do update every day over on Storygraph, so if you're really wanting to follow a day-to-day update, I just don't think that that's realistic. I don't always have time in the day to come in and like update, especially on weekends. It's hard. And also what I'm doing is I'm telling myself that I must read at least that hour and a half, right? That 2 45-minute stint. However, a lot of the people that I've been watching read way more than that. So yes, their goal are the 2 45 minutes, but a lot of them are reading like a few hours a day. And I will say that when I put a cap on it and I say, okay, so I only have to read 2 45-minute sessions. That is black. That is weird. Okay. Then I basically will give up reading for the rest of the day. Like, I won't read anymore. So what I was doing was I was doing the first 45-minute session in the morning and the second 45-minute session before I went to bed. And I think that in reality, what I'm going to do is make sure that I'm reading for an hour and a half every day, but I'm using the stopwatch function on my phone. And I'm just starting the stopwatch whenever I am actively reading and stopping it whenever I am not. And that is how much I'm reading. So there was a day where I read for almost 2 hours, but that was because I was just start and stopping my timer, my stopwatch, whenever I wasn't reading. Or when I was reading, I was starting it. When I wasn't reading, I was stopping it. So I think that's how we're going to do it, and we're just going to see how much I end up reading. Because as this challenge goes on, I read more and more. Now, on the busy days, like if I have busy days, like with making content and working and stuff like that, then obviously I will just have to kind of carve out 45-minute, like 2 45-minute sessions. That has happened as well, where like all I get is an hour and a half because I've had to basically carve out my 2 45-minute sessions in the day. Like, I've had to make the 2 45-minute sessions like actually work for me, as opposed to just having the free time to read as much as I want. So there is that. There's going to be ebb and flow. So I think that it's going to be a little chaotic watching me try to film this. And I do need to do an update actually for that vlog today, because that vlog will end on Sunday. And yeah, so I do need to like update that vlog because I haven't updated it in a couple days. It was just hard to update it with Ari being homesick, but I have everything written down, so it should be easy enough for me to update. I also just realized that I never posted over on Instagram, but that's okay. I'll just post tomorrow because that's when the actual video goes up. And I think that's when I'm going to post updates on Instagram, is when the actual videos go up. So yeah, that is kind of where I'm at with 75 booked. I'm currently, like I said, reading Love Arranged, and then I am still listening to, what was it called? Death Trap. I'm still listening to that. It's fine. I'm really enjoying the story, but unfortunately the audio is not very good. I think probably because the audio is an older audiobook. I'm not really enjoying the audio very much. And so I'm kind of deciding if I'm going to continue listening to it and just get it done, because I think I only have an hour and a half left of the audio, or if I'm going to just pick it up on my Kindle. But I think I'm going to just finish it out because I'm currently reading Love Arranged on my Kindle. And yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do, is do it that way, and I'll just finish it out. I'll probably finish it out actually today. So that's all for that. Let me think if there's anything else. I guess I didn't really do a diamond painting update. My diamond painting update is that I'm finishing up this Loki painting, and as soon as it's done, then I will kit it down. I will do a post review for this one. This one was actually really enjoyable to work on, but I'll do a full post review for this one before I pack it up to be sent to Brianna and kit it down, because this pot of trash is all the trash from this kit. I actually was able to save most of the trash from this kit. So there might be a little bit more trash, but I don't know. There was quite a bit of trash. But that's okay. So yeah, I'm going to finish this, because after I do this section that you can see me working on, I have 2 sections. I have a section here and a section right in the middle, and then I'm done. So I theoretically should have this done by the end of the weekend, I pray, because I'm hoping to get one more section done today after this video, because right now I only have this little bit and then this little bit up here of symbols to finish for this section. Please, what are you doing? Okay. So I'm hoping to get this section up here mostly done today, and then I can do the top section tomorrow, and then I'm done with this kit. So that would be awesome. And then if I need to diamond paint between now and when I finish this kit and when I get my jingle drills kits, I will pull out the HP kit that y'all saw. Y'all saw it in like a it was in a vlog, and I did a WIP parade at the beginning of the vlog. I don't remember which vlog it was. I think it was Vlogoween week 9. It was the closeout vlog for Vlogoween. I will be doing WIP parades every month just so y'all can see what I have out. But I do also need to just share this. I take my kits out of the box after they have arrived. I do this because I prefer to work on a flat kit, and so I will actually leave the drills in the box, but I will take the actual kit out. So like right now, because I've shown y'all the Batman one, I have the HP kit out, and I also have Batman laid out as well. So like when my Jingle Drills kits come, I will lay those out also so that they have time to flatten before I have to actually work on them. I just really prefer for my kits to be as flat as possible before I start working on them. And I know someone's going to come in the comments and be like, but you roll your kits. I do. But I roll them while I'm working on them. So they almost always start unrolled. Like before they have any drills on them, I won't actually roll them until I have drills on one side. So, for instance, if this was the side that I had started on, then that other end would be just hanging off my table. And I do it this way, and then I move my light over to the side. Because I do it this way, because then the kit is able to kind of get its own bearing. And then I will, unless I'm just working on one kit at a time, which sometimes I do that, I will kind of hyper focus like I have on this Loki kit because I want to get it done and sent to Brianna. But unless I hyper focus on a kit, I tend to be working on more than one kit. And so when I'm not working on a kit, I will unroll it so that it has time to kind of find its shape again. I've also found that at least with square kits, it's easier to roll the kit backwards, so you roll it like this way instead of rolling it this way when you roll it up. So right now that other end where Loki's face and stuff is rolled with the diamonds out instead of the diamonds in. Oh no, y'all. I just laid a bunch of the wrong symbol. Oh no. Hold on, y'all. This is like real time seeing Neva freak out because I just laid, I'm pretty sure all of this is the wrong symbol. Hold on. Okay. You know what? What color is 8 though? Alright, you know what? We're going to make this work. We're going to make it work. Because these two colors are close enough that I'm not going to rip all these out. It's okay. So y'all just watched me lay a bunch of the wrong symbol. Because this symbol actually was supposed to be on here. But it's okay. I'm just going to... We're going to just make it work. Because it's still going to look like rock. So it should be fine. These colors are so close. Like they're both really weird grays. I think, yeah, they're close enough that it'll be fine. It definitely, the one symbol that I laid down incorrectly is more of a blue-gray, but it's not noticeable enough, I don't think, so it's fine. Yeah, it kind of looks strange to my eyeball, but I don't think anyone will actually notice. Okay. It's fine, y'all. You don't really know what section I'm on because I didn't show you the picture, so... Oh, well. And I'm sure, like, once I look at it, like, once it's done, I won't even notice that I laid things incorrectly. Okay, so, moving on. Let me think if there's anything else. So, that was the diamond painting update. I don't really want to kit up Batman until I get HP done, or until Jingle Drills is over. I don't need to get HP done, but, and honestly, Batman is not a huge kit, but I want to have as many of the small containers as I possibly can for Jingle Drills, because I just have a feeling that, especially the big kit that I got, because that big kit, it is a Christmas candy shop. I think that's actually what it's called, is Christmas candy shop. But I would actually work on it throughout the year. Like, I won't necessarily roll it up and put it away at, like, after Christmas is over. Just simply because, oops, spilled a bunch. Just simply because it's just so brightly colored and, like, it's fun, you know? And it's wintry enough, and I feel like you can still buy, like, Christmas candy and stuff after Christmas is over, and so I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, I'm going to kind of try to move y'all back because we still have about 20 minutes. So I'm gonna try to move y'all back and put this. We're going to just start the next section. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start the next. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the next section here. So I don't know, though, if this whole section will come off or if it will fold. I think it will just fold. Okay, let me get this done and then I'll come right back. Okay, sorry about that. So I have the last section here, or not last section, this is my second to last section. I have this section and then I have a section right above it. But I figured we will just start working on this section until the end of the timer because we only have about 10 minutes left of the timer. So, let me think what else we can talk about, because we've talked about drills and chills. We've talked about all of that. I think in the new year, I will still be doing YouTube, basically full time, right? Because that's what I've been doing, is YouTube full time for anyone who's new here. But I think I will be finding an outside job, just like outside of the house, even if it'll only be a few days a week, just simply because I just find that doing YouTube, I don't leave my house a lot, especially if it is cold outside or if it's too hot outside. So in the summer, we were basically not home all summer, but that's because I was taking Ari, like, to the library, and we were doing other things all summer. So we weren't really in the house, but it was hot. And then, but now that it's starting to get cold, I'm not really wanting to leave the house again. So when Ari first went back to school, I would leave the house like once a week. I'd go like work at the library or work at a coffee shop or something. And I did that. I've done that once since it started to get cold, and I haven't done it again. So I'm kind of sitting here like, okay, something has got to give. So I don't know how to get myself to do it. So I don't drive, for anyone who's new here. I don't drive. So that's first. So anywhere that I go, I walk there. But I also am thinking about getting a bike, because then I could bike there. And actually biking is good for my hips and joints, where I have a lot of my chronic pain. So I thought about getting a bike and doing that. I guess I could also just like learn how to drive a car. Driving gives me so much anxiety. Technically I can drive, I just do not hold a driver's license. And the reason for that is because it gives me anxiety thinking about having to drive, and I know that even though people tell me that they would not rely on me to drive, they would. I know the people in my family, and they just would. Like, people would want me to, like, run errands and things, and that's just, like, a really hard boundary for me, and so I'm kind of like, no, like, I don't want to drive. I think that eventually I will hold a driver's license, and then maybe just, like, not tell anybody. Because at least if I hold a driver's license, if I needed to drive for some reason, or I decided to get a car sometime in the future, which we live in a really small town, so, like, I don't really need a car right now, I could do that. Ari really likes walking places since we've moved back home to Iowa, and so it hasn't actually been necessary for me to have a car, and that's just simply because, like I said, Ari loves to walk. So it hasn't been super necessary for me to have a car. The few times that I've needed to be driven somewhere, I've been able to make arrangements, like, with my dad or my brother, like, for doctor's appointments or whatever. But, like, my doctor's appointments, I just walk to, and then, like, for Ari's doctor's appointments, I usually make an arrangement for that, and that's kind of just what we do. But it's hard because Ari will be like, I wish we had a car, but also, like, every time that we suggest that we drive somewhere, she wants to walk there. So it's like, you don't actually want a car, bro. Like, you just want a car because, like, you feel like everyone has a car. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I think I just need to find something that's a couple days a week. And a couple of the places near my house are hiring for, like, part-time and full-time position. I don't want a full-time position. Like, I want something that's, like, 2 days a week. So when I worked at Taco Bell, I worked 4 days a week, and that ended up really exacerbating my chronic pain, and my doctor was like, you're not going to be able to do a job like that unless it's only, like, 2 days. And at that time, they didn't really want to work with me on that, so I just quit instead because, yeah, they needed a manager to be more, like, to be there more than that, and I get that, so that's fine. So I quit. So, and that was over a year ago now. That would have been a year ago in August, that I quit at Taco Bell, and yeah, so I'm going to look into applying at a couple of different places here in town and talking to them about getting, just, like, about getting hired, even if it's just, like, 2 days a week. And honestly, I'd prefer that it's, like, during the school day, but I know that can be kind of hard, like, unless I'm working, like, an 8 to 4 or 8 to 3, but even then that would be a little bit difficult with Ari's school schedule. So if I end up being able to find something that will work, I'm gonna have to probably talk to Ari about walking home from the bus. But I would like day shift. I don't want to go back to, like, overnights. That was really also hard on my body, doing overnights, because while, like, I would basically have to, so when I was working at Taco Bell, depending on the Taco Bell I was working at, right? So when I worked at the Taco Bell in Indiana, I got off at 4 a.m. Then I would just stay up, like, because essentially I'd go home, I'd eat, I'd shower, like, I do the things that you do after you get home from work, but it was at, like, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I would wake up the kids for school. So at that time, Mariah's son was still a minor, so I would wake him up, and then I would wake up Ari, because basically I could get Ari out the door and then go wake Austin, and that was kind of how it worked. And then after I got him up for school, I would go to bed. So I would go to bed at around 7:30, 7:45 in the morning, and then I would sleep until 2:30 in the afternoon, because I'd have to go down the street and get Ari from the bus at 3:15. Get Ari off the bus, and then that was all the sleep that I was getting that day, right? Once Ari came home from school, we would do all the things that she would do after school, homework and all of that stuff, and then I would feed her dinner and get her ready for bed, and then I would leave for work, because I would work from 8 to 4 a.m., 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. When we moved to Iowa, the Taco Bell here, at least on the shifts that I worked, I know on Saturdays, Fridays and Saturdays, they don't close until 3. But I didn't work Fridays or Saturdays. I worked Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And so we would close at 2 a.m. And so I would work from 8 to 2 or 7 to 2, depending on the week. And that was totally fine because I made enough money. I made $15 an hour until 10 p.m. And then after 10 p.m., I made $17 an hour. So I made enough money that even though I worked less days, I was still, like, I worked less days, but I was still getting 40 hours, you know? So I was still full-time, but I was working less days because I was working, like, 10-hour shifts. So, but then what would happen is I would get home, we'll say, get off at 2. Well, we wouldn't even get off at 2. We would close at 2. So we would be off usually no later than 2:30 because technically there was a 30-minute thing. We stay on the clock. So essentially our schedules reflected that extra 30 minutes. So our schedules would, so my schedule would always say that I got off at 2:30. Now, if we got everything done and closed down before 2:30, you got it closed down at 2:15, then we could leave, but it was scheduled in as 2:30. So we would shut everything down, we would leave by 2:30, then it would be about 15 minutes to walk from my job to my house. So I'd get home about 2:45, and then I would do all the things, right? I would eat, I would take a shower, I would, decompress, maybe like diamond paint or watch a show or something for a little while, read, and then I'd go to bed. Well, there wasn't really a lot of point in me going to bed. So a lot of times what would happen is one of two things. Either I would fall asleep and then have to be up at 7. So say I fell asleep by 4 and then I'd have to be up by 7 to get Ari ready for the bus. Or what I used to do a lot was I would just run the same schedule that I was running when I was working until 4 a.m. The problem is that we are an hour behind here. So my body was convinced that it was actually 5 a.m. at 4 a.m., even though it wasn't. So my body was trying to start shutting down. And so until I got used to that, I would basically have to like get up and walk around, or I'd have to like drink coffee and like sit somewhere where I couldn't really easily fall asleep. I'd have to like diamond paint or play on my iPad. Like I'd have to do something to keep myself awake. So essentially I wouldn't be able to really go into the bedroom, because if I did, I would lay down and I would go to sleep. And there were a couple times where Ari was almost late for school because of that. Like she never missed the bus from me not being able to get up. There were a couple times that we missed the bus for other circumstances, but never from me not being able to get up. But it would be really hard. And then my sleep is broken up, right? Because now I've slept for like, we'll say 2 hours, and then I get up to get Ari ready for the bus. So now I'm up and my body is awake now, because I've been up now for an hour getting Ari ready for school. And now we've got to get out the door for school. So that was like a big thing. Yeah, that was a really big thing. And so I don't really want to go back to night shift. It was also really hard, just in general, like on my body and stuff, doing night shift, and also it's hard to like do things that need to get done when you're on night shift. Like it's hard. Like doctor's appointments are hard because now you have to try to make doctor's appointments work around your work schedule, and like no one is going, like there's no doctor's office that's scheduling doctor's appointments at 7 or 8 p.m. So I would have to interrupt my sleep schedule in order to go to doctor's appointments, or go to like Ari's activities at school. So I just think that I would prefer a day shift, because at least that way I can do other things that I want to do around the day shift that normal people would do during the day. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. But I think that's really it as far as like life update or book update or anything like that. Yeah, I think that's really I think that's really it. That's all, friends. So I'm going to go now. We did get quite a bit done because I finished this section and I got a good bit of this section. I got some up here done too. I don't know if I can push you back enough to see if it works. You can zoom out. Okay, so I got like the rest of this section down here done. This is all completed. And then I got this part here of this section and then all up in here and a few spots in here done. So I think that I've made some good progress in this hour. So thank you so much for being here. All my links will be down below. I will tag Lindsay from Emerald and Fairy Lights. I will tag her down below so you can see if you want to join Jingle Drills. I will also tag Emily. Is it Emily Page Reads? I think that's what it is. Down below, she's the one that came up with the 75 book challenge. So if you want to kind of see what her rules are, she does tell you to make it your own thing, which is kind of why I'm tweaking it as I go. I'm going to find like the perfect way for me to do 75 books because this is a challenge that I think I would actually like to do throughout the year. But that's all that I have. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon somewhere else on the internet. Bye!